What's up, everyone? I'm Pete, and I'm here with Zach, and this is Open Minded. Zach, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What created us? A god or an alien overlord?
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime.
Like the interesting thing is the houses you see around you are all solar houses.
21st Century Fox has been holding talks to sell most of the company to Walt Disney.
So, what do you think?
Um.
Okay, first of all, that's not the only two options because
Yes. Obviously.
there's obviously the theory of evolution, which to me somewhat makes sense, somewhat it seems improbable, but
Well, I feel like evolution could still work in with all of them.
that's true.
Like evolution could still work with all of those things. Like I personally believe that if we didn't have like a panspermia kind of thing happen, we just naturally evolved on Earth. It's the obvious outcome, you know. But
How come we're the only ones with
still,
intelligent life
if,
then?
I don't know.
See,
But if we did come from a panspermia, then that planet had some sort of same question that we're talking about right now. Like, where did that planet's life come from? You know?
yes. So the argument that I hear the most about this subject specifically is the god, if another species or another entity created us, it would either be a god or an alien species. But who are we to determine the difference between the two? Because to us, a species that's so far advanced from us could seem like a god. They could seem like gods who
Well,
came here, created us, seeded us, or created us in a lab. I mean, there's a lot of evidence pointing toward evolution. So maybe if it was a god, then
well,
that god made life, and
what
then
kind of god? That's what I mean. Like, there's different kinds of gods. Like, there were like Greek gods that were very much like humans, and I'm pretty sure they could die, right?
yes,
So, like, you have gods that die as like Greek gods, but then once we have this monotheistic stuff, like now they're like all powerful and stuff like that.
well, I think that they were all
But
powerful in the Greek mythology, but not like to each other. Like they were all like humans
to humans
couldn't kill
only,
gods. They were like above us in superior like strength and knowledge, and they had the ability to create life and control it, control the seas, control the winds, control the crops, control the sun. And that's what they're like, that civilization, that was their idea of gods. Nowadays,
but that's what I mean. Like, you could call anything a god, and that to you could be a god, but like I feel like to have an actual definition of a god, like it has to be sort of like incredibly powerful thing that, I don't know, didn't just come from evolution or a natural process, and it's almost like magic, and that's why I think it's a god can't be. It would just be an alien with godlike powers, but it's just an alien.
yeah. So let's discuss the difference between like the Christian God, the what did you call it? Monotheistic?
Monotheistic.
The monotheistic God that Christians and
Well, that's
Muslims
also like
and Jews
Allah or
and
whatever.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
most of the world believes in like a single God. And maybe, that God may have had a son or may not have had a son. But regardless, the God that they believe in is an all-knowing, all-powerful entity that is of a higher dimension than us, so we can't even like really comprehend what it is, or he is, or she is, or if they even have a gender. It's just God, and people have faith that God is what created us and controls us and controls everything, and we are like made in his image. Versus an alien race that lives in the same dimension as us, but may be of a much higher intelligence and higher technology, and even might have abilities that we couldn't even conceive because it seems like magic to us. It seems like they're all powerful.
Magic is just really good technology.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think.
In my
That's what I
opinion.
think.
Yeah.
So let's think of like the probabilities of both of those happening. I'm not a super religious person, but there's a lot of, evidence pointing to the fact that there may be an all-knowing God out there that created us.
See, I don't think there's any evidence.
You don't think there's any evidence that there's a God?
No. I feel like if there was evidence, someone would have a PhD on it. Like, I mean, not a PhD, like a Nobel Prize. Like, this is a crazy question that everybody's been asking for so long. Like, if there was any evidence at all, we would 100% know about the evidence of it.
Well, there's no evidence disproving a God. There is...
Well, you can't disprove something that doesn't exist.
There is evidence.
Well,
there's
you can
personal
certain
accounts.
things,
There's personal accounts of people who have experienced very spiritual experiences in their life, and they claim to have spoken to God, and that God has told them that what the truth is, that the meaning of their life, the truth of His creation, and how beautiful it is. And if you look around at all the other species on Earth, no other species has the same like cognitive abilities as we do, and that kind of points to the idea that there might be an all-knowing God that designed us and allowed us to be able to make podcasts and text on our phones and drink alcohol and stuff like that, versus an animal that just lives, breeds, and dies.
I think that one's more comfortable.
Comfortable?
An animal that just lives, breathes, and dies.
How do you explain how life is so perfect?
Because it evolved to be that way.
Life is so
Like, if we didn't
symbiotic,
have
though. Like it's almost
It
as if it
isn't.
were planned that way.
No, I don't think it. I feel like if any conditions were different on Earth, we would just be different. We would have evolved to live in those conditions. It's not like it's like Earth is perfect for humans. It's not. Like, we could die very easily in most places on Earth, like the ocean, if we're just dropped in the ocean. We are not made in a godlike image. We choke so easily because for some reason within godlike design, we breathe through the same hole that we ingest like solids and liquids from. And for some reason we have to ingest solids and liquids. And
Yeah.
a lot of the solids and liquids on Earth will kill us. We can't drink the salt water.
Well-
we can't drink most
Well,
plants.
we're not
We
gods.
can't
We're not gods. We're
Well, no, I'm saying it's not perfect for us. Like, Earth is very much not perfect for us. We have to live in certain select areas.
Well, okay.
Or we may have to use technology to help us.
I'm
live
not
there.
saying that light or that Earth is perfect. I'm just saying that the way life is so symbiotic. Like, for instance, we've talked about this before. The wolves and like the rodents, like the prey and the predators. If one of them is too strong, like if there's not enough wolves, then the prey will, like rabbits, will breed out of control and then be completely overpopulated, and they'll end up dying. If there's too many wolves, then the rabbits will get completely killed and wiped out, and then their wolves will end up starving. And so there's like a balance in that sense, that there's a certain amount of prey and a certain amount of predators, and it's a circle of life.
See,
and when something dies, that its nutrients go into the ground, which
I
feeds
feel like
plants,
I feel
that
like
feed
it's
other animals.
It's a system that has a need for a balance, but there is no balance. One will inevitably win out, or it will continually be a war between both of them, because it is a war, and you can't have war without. You can't say it's a symbiotic a system if they're literally at war? Like,
Yeah, but they're not at war because if you look at prey
Well, they
and
kinda are,
prey and
like-
predators share the same drinking hole. If the predator is not hunting and they go to a drinking hole and there's like if a lion goes to a watering hole and is drinking to survive, and across the lake is a gazelle drinking at the same watering hole, they're not necessarily going to say, "There's a gazelle, let's go kill it," because they're not hunting.
But then there's accounts in World War II during like Christmas or whatever, the Germans on one side and the English or whatever
that was
on
World
the
War
other
One.
side.
That was
Like,
World War One.
well, yeah, exactly. Like and that's insane. Like they were fucking beating each other with like the back of their fucking guns, and they were fucking at war, and they still did that too.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, in World War One, I think you're right. It was the Germans and the British, and they were at war in the trenches, fighting each other. And on Christmas, both sides called a truce, and they went into no man's land, and they played soccer, and they had like a Christmas dinner, and they enjoyed each other's company, and they were just being humans, and they were being loving toward each other. And then the next day, the fighting commenced, and they just kept fighting.
Yeah.
But that's different. Being at war like that is different than fighting for survival, because lions don't kill just to kill. Lions don't kill gazelles because they don't agree with the way that they're running their gazelle herd. They kill them because they
Well, they
need
don't
to
have
eat.
the knowledge for it.
They don't have. Yeah.
Well, I don't, it's not. That's a separate argument.
For me, like it just. If you look at the difference between how symbiotic nature is, and then you see human beings and how we are not symbiotic, we come into areas that are symbiotic and we destroy like habitats, and we destroy the nature and animals for our gain. So we kind of don't
'cause
fit
we-
in with.
We create things. Animals that create things always fuck shit up, like beavers.
Oh yeah,
Beavers fuck shit up. They'll like destroy an entire like area. They'll just make it flooded, and now like all these animals are dispersed and everything. Like entire plant like species can die, you know?
Yeah.
Beavers are crazy. And there used to be giant beavers back in the day. That's insane. Like what the fuck?
Where'd they all go?
I think we killed them. Maybe not. I don't think we were around back then, but if we did, that would have been awesome. Killing a giant beaver.
like fighting a mammoth, but it's a beaver.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how could we know that we, fought mammoths and did all these things? Like how could we have gotten created to do those things? Like I could definitely see like more. Even though I don't see this happening, I could see it more happening that it was just like aliens. Well, even though, in my opinion, any god would just be an alien anyway with just magic powers.
Even a being of a higher dimension than us, that
yeah, it's just an extra dimensional alien.
like an alien race that has evolved past the third dimension and is like in control of the fourth dimension, kind of like the way that Interstellar portrays these aliens.
Well, you know how like the Vex work? Do you remember playing Destiny? Like that, the whole reason Destiny was cool for me in the first one was because of the lore and the story and shit, which wasn't even in the game. But the Vex were crazy. Like what they were trying to do was hack into the what the universe is made out of and write them in as a law of nature, so they can never they could just create and do whatever they want. Like they were like basically hacking into the very fundamentals of physics,
and
shit
they could
like
travel
that, and
through
changing
time
it.
and
Yeah.
change the fourth dimension basically.
Yeah, like they can make other realms. Like I don't know what a realm would be called. Like is it in the universe or three-dimensional, or it's obviously in the universe, but is it like in 3 dimensions, 2 dimensions? Is it its own thing and we just perceive it to be 3 dimensions? I don't know. But it was in another things like that are crazy, but still that thing the Vexer would just be a robot, or just like a biological robot, because they have that gooey shit.
Yeah, but to some
Shoot.
cultures or some species, they would seem like
call
gods.
Yeah,
seem like a god.
they even had their own robot gods that they would worship,
Yeah.
which was
It
crazy.
was a pretty cool game.
Yeah, but like that whole like God thing, like obviously some people would think that they're gods, and they're not. They're just like an alien robot.
Mm-hmm.
And then because that's how they see themselves, but then they also see other alien robots as gods or more powerful
Mm-hmm.
ones as gods. So like, and those ones probably know that they're just like a really powerful alien robot, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Like, in my opinion, it's either an alien or whatever.
So if
It's not going to be a god.
if it is an alien, if aliens created us and not a god, because that's
But still, I think more like we just evolved to live on Earth. I don't think we were created.
you don't think we were created at all?
We would, if someone was to create us, oh man, think about what you would do if you wanted to make something. Like, it would be so much better than humans, you know?
Well, maybe. Okay,
Like, it's either he sucks at creating shit or like.
I think humans are pretty
Yeah.
amazing, to be honest.
Oh yeah, definitely compared to other things on Earth.
I think we
But
might
imagine
maybe
you
like,
could think of humans being way better.
well, on this Earth, we are the most advanced biological species. So compared to everything
Imagine we
else,
had like little carbon fiber structures going through our skin.
but then we
could
wouldn't
never
be
get punctured.
biological. Life,
Why not?
well, because
You have carbon fiber shit.
no,
Maybe.
like
Well, not maybe not carbon fiber, but like, you know, some really strong, like little tiny, I don't know, extra thick skin. You know what I'm saying? Like evolutionarily.
yeah, but yeah, you're right. So evolutionarily, we seem to have evolved to live in our surroundings, and that's what, like, the reason why certain species have like crazy thick skin is because they live in an area that's really harsh that requires crazy thick skin. We didn't, so that's why
Yeah.
we don't have that. So it makes a little bit of sense that we evolved. But if we evolved, did we evolve from a single organism from like the creation of life in the very beginning of Earth's history, or was life seeded here by other aliens? Because it, like, if aliens did create us, there are two separate scenarios. Either it was panspermia, like you said, and they like an alien race, or even like a meteor came down with life on it, and then everything on Earth evolved from that. Or an alien species came to Earth, saw, oh wow, this is a lush place, and then created something in the image of themselves, like created a human being, and then allowed us to flourish.
Out of the DNA that was originally there.
Or out of their DNA.
Like they just manipulated.
Like if you see,
Then
if you see
then how does our DNA
Prometheus-
correspond with like flowers? You know what I mean?
That's true. We do share a lot of DNA traits with chimpanzees. We're like 99%.
fungus.
99.
Fungus is like the oldest thing. Fungus is before animals and before plants, I'm pretty sure. Like fungus is like the oldest organism that we've ever found having a structure.
Yeah.
Besides like single cell
And
things.
I think
like,
that they also have found fungi fossils, and it's like the oldest fossil that we've ever found, and it's a fungus.
a fully looking like a mushroom, you know.
And we human beings have a common ancestor with fungus. Like they,
Yeah, exactly.
So-
we're more fungus than we are plant. Did you know that? We're more in common with mushrooms than any plant.
that's crazy.
Plants are, we both branched from fungus.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of whether
So that's what the aliens would have had to have done. They would have had to come down and to a planet with like, I don't know, mushrooms just growing everywhere, and been like picked it up and been like, oh, let's put some of us in here and just change mushrooms, and then maybe in fucking 2 billion years it'll evolve into something that maybe resembles us. That just seems a little far-fetched.
Yeah, I think that the idea that we evolved makes the most sense. But the real question that I keep asking myself is: did we evolve naturally? Did we evolve with the help of an entity like a god, or were we seeded here? Was all life on Earth seeded here, and we evolved from that life because of an alien organism that basically allowed us to evolve. Like, here's a perfect question. Like, here's a perfect like scenario in my head that I keep thinking about. For millions and even billions of years, maybe not billions, but for millions of years, life was so lush on the planet Earth. Dinosaurs and other species ruled the Earth for hundreds of millions of years, and they never really accomplished anything other than living. And then an asteroid came down and destroyed all of that life, and then all of a sudden, a couple of, million years later, human beings are thriving and like taking over like a virus. So possibly that asteroid held the key to human evolution, and that's why primates before that mass extinction were pretty much nowhere to be seen. So possibly that
See, I would say it was the key to human evolution. I wouldn't say it had anything in it, like a magical power or spores or something, because we would see something completely foreign, probably. There'd be like something computers would be like, wait, where is this coming from? That in everybody's DNA, it doesn't come from, it just appears right here. It's completely different. There'd probably be some sort of sign for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about
it definitely was the key. Like, we needed the
dinosaurs to be
them
dead.
to die out. Yeah, we needed that, and not even we, like everything needs it. Well, in my opinion, humans are going to be the thing that saves Earth, not destroys it. Earth is always in a course of destroying things.
That's true, and human beings have the ability to actually save not only themselves but other species and of plants, animals, and fungi. Like, we actually can build some type of an ark and protect these.
Think about this. Imagine we build the ark and we sum up like so much like shit and garbage or something like that on our way going, and we just like dump it on some like planet, and then it eventually turns into life, and they are thinking about like,
how did we get here?
Were we made? Yeah, I wonder who the gods were that made us. And meanwhile, it's just our shit, and we just like and dump it down onto the planet.
Who knows? That could be what happened to us. We might be the product of alien excrement.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a cool question, and I don't think we're ever going to find an answer to it because it's so far like above our heads.
Need a time machine.
A time machine or a verse machine.
No, I want a time machine.
Go back to the beginning of
That'd
time.
Be cool.
To the Big Bang.
The very beginning,
If the Big Bang even happened. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Were we created by a god? Were we created by aliens? Or did we just evolve naturally from a single-celled organism? They all seem kind of far-fetched if you think about it, but one of them had to happen, so which one was it?
Yeah.
If you want to leave us a comment down below or email us at openmindedepisodes@gmail.com, and, I'm just going to keep thinking about this. It's a cool, interesting subject that I'm never going to have the answer to, so. All right, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Later.